Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, I'm Taylor and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be testing out and giving a review and creating this eyeshadow look I have on right now with this new Wet n Wild Color Iconics palette. Before we start the video, don't forget to hit that like button down below and subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you. Also, make sure you have your post notifications turned on so you don't miss an upload, and let's start the video. This is the 5-pan Wet n Wild Color Iconic palette. This is in the style Walking on Eggshells. There are 2 shimmer shadows and the rest are matte shadows. You can buy this palette at Walmart and Target for $2.99 or on wetnwild.com for $3.99. So here are some swatches of the 2 shimmer eyeshadows because I did not use those in the eye look I'm getting ready to create for you guys. So this is what they look like. They're super pigmented and pretty. Now I'm going to be going ahead and priming my eyelids to get ready for the eyeshadow. I'm just using some concealer and I'm just going to blend that all in and pack it down so the concealer is tacky and ready for the eyeshadow. So the first shade I'm going to be going in with is that dark brown shade. It is the darkest shadow in the palette, and I'm just going to be taking that on a mini blending brush, and I'm going to start blending that on my eye. I'm going to be keeping that more on the outer corner of my eye, the outer corner and outer like eyelid of my eye, and I'm going to be blending it up into the crease of my eye. So the first thing I can notice is that this eyeshadow is really pigmented. I'm hardly using any and the pigment is there. There is a little bit of fallout but nothing too serious, and it's blending out pretty well, so let's just see how it blends out with the other shadows. And I'm just going to be repeating those same steps to my other eye. Now I'm just going to be going in with this light tan matte shadow, and I'm just going to be blending out that dark eyeshadow I just applied. So I'm just going to be blending that out, and I'm going to be going in circular and back and forth motions to blend that out. And the first thing I notice is that this eyeshadow is super powdery and it's not really blending out like I envisioned or like I would necessarily want. It is taking a little bit more effort to blend it out, and it's still not like flawlessly blended out like other eyeshadows would, but it is a little bit harder, but it as you guys can see, it is blending out. There's just some more harsher lines where the two eyeshadows meet. You can clearly see where the dark eyeshadow stops. So I mean, it's nothing too big of a deal because you can, like I said, you can keep blending out and probably fix it, but yeah, and it is super chalky, like there's powder flying everywhere. So the eyeshadow formula is I would say more cheap. Honestly, you can tell that it was probably $2.99, $3.99. I'm not a fan of the formula really, but it is still blendable and you can still work with it. And then my next video, I am going to be comparing it to the e.l.f. Cosmetics Bite Size eyeshadow palettes because they're around the same price and they're both drugstore. So I'm going to be comparing it and kind of going on and seeing what eyeshadow formula is better, what are they the same, you know, kind of just comparing them. So I'm just working with this a lot and trying to blend that shadow out like I would any other eyeshadow, because I want the dark eyeshadow to be blended into the lighter eyeshadow and not have a line where the two meet. Overall, the look's turning out exactly how I pictured in my head. It is just taking me a little bit longer to get there, and there is some flaws. But so now I'm just going to be going in with that white matte shadow. It does kind of have some shimmer in it, and I'm just going to be taking that and putting it on the inner part of my eyelid and blending it into all that other eyeshadow. And once again, this white is super powdery. It's chalky, I would call it. The eyeshadow is kind of flying everywhere when I'm applying it. There is major fallout, but you can't really tell because the eyeshadow is white. And it is kind of taking a minute to get that to pack on and show any pigment. And it is not really blending into the other shadows exactly how I thought it would. But overall, the eye look still looks good. So now I'm just going to be going in with that dark brown eyeshadow right there, and I'm going to be working on my waterline. I'm going to be applying that as close to my waterline as possible. And something I did notice when applying this, when I'm applying it to my waterline, it does not have the same pigment as it did when I applied it to my eyelid. And I definitely think that's because the concealer I used to prime my eyelids with definitely made that eyeshadow more pigmented and just better. So definitely, if you don't prime your eyelids, this eyeshadow is probably not going to be that pigmented. Now I'm just going to be taking that light tan color and blending out my lower lash line. I'm just going to be blending that all out, and honestly you can't really even tell that I blended it out with that color because, like I said, it is not as pigmented on my lower lash line as it is on my eyelid, and that is definitely because of the concealer for primer. Now I'm just going to be moving on and applying some eyeliner. I'm using the Urban Decay eyeliner. This is like the black color. I really like this eyeliner. It works really good, I think. I'm just going to be applying that on my waterline, and then I'm going to be applying a thin line on my eye. There was no issues with the eyeshadow while I'm applying the eyeliner. All the eyeshadow still stayed intact and everything. And then I'm going to be applying some eyelashes, and here is the final look. I really like how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty good, but like I said, there are some minor flaws that I can notice that you might not be able to notice. Just how the eyeshadow blended and how it looks on my eye. But for $2.99, I don't think you can really go wrong with the eyeshadow. It's just going to take a little bit more effort to blend, especially if you're used to a higher quality eyeshadow. Alright guys, that is all I have for you in today's video. Stay tuned for my next video. I will be comparing this Wet n Wild Color Iconics palette to the e.l.f. Cosmetic bite-size eyeshadow palettes. I'll be doing a whole video comparing those two and giving you guys my thoughts. So make sure you have your post notifications turned on so you don't miss an upload, and I'll see you in my next video.